Welcome back, everyone. We're going to be talking about The Dragon Prince Season 3, which can be found streaming on Netflix. Uh, so, overall, again, this show is, I've kind of mentioned this in the last reviews for this show. It's made for kids. I would say for, it's probably target range is around 10. So, but shows like this and like Avatar: The Last Airbender do a good job of being able to incorporate it and kind of make it a little timeless, where like you can go back and watch it even if you're older. I don't know if any of you have tried to go back and watch some of the old like cartoons or shows, anime shows that you used to watch as a kid, but sometimes you go back and like the nostalgia filter comes off and you're like, wow, this is not great. But this is not one of those shows. This show is very good. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat. Like, this is definitely worth. It's 27 episodes right now. They're coming out with, I believe, 4 more seasons. But this show is definitely worth the 27 episodes it is to watch. It's really not that long, and it's pretty good. And it's a quick watch. So, the last season, this or not the last season, the third season this season, there's a lot of really cool things involved, including getting to see Zadia and Rayla and Callum. That's what it is. I've got a lot of books going on and TV shows going on right now. Callum and Rayla, their relationship is. I like it a lot, and I'm interested in where it progresses from here, since I'm imagining after this season there'll be a time jump maybe into the future a little bit, so I'm interested to see where that goes. But I feel like a lot of shows, I guess maybe this is something that's moving forward into the future, but like I feel like a lot of like cartoon shows like the Dragon Prince, I mean, even again, I hate to keep harping with Avatar: Last Airbender, like they don't really show relationships that much because the characters are pretty young, which makes sense. But this show doesn't shy away from that, and I really like it because it's something a little bit more refreshing and not just like a tease of like, are they gonna get together in the end? Like, it's interested to get to see a relationship and how it develops past the point of like beginning to date, basically. Um, there's also like just a lot of like, there's a lot of new characters that are introduced in the season that I was really interested in. I'm kind of gonna go into a critique, I guess. Right, I'll just go into the critiques right now, which is basically just main. I mean, again, this is short, so it's basically one thing that really got to me. I think the pacing of this season, which involves the introducing of a bunch of new characters and stuff like that, is weird compared to the other two seasons. The other two seasons had this very good pace for the show, I felt like. It was fast enough that it was interesting to keep up on with still getting a little bit of like just, I wouldn't say filler, but like side events here and there, like side quests kind of going on of like, oh, we need to go grab this quick, and introducing new characters and stuff like that. This season felt like it needed to be 3 separate seasons, if referring back to that pacing. It just felt like they tried to like they wanted to shove all these big things in to get to this big battle at the end. Like that's what they were going for. And I get that because it was probably a budgetary thing and like a hey, we're only giving you this many seasons and then like we'll see how this goes and like you had to tell this arc in this time. But it needed more room to breathe and to work with. So like there's like 3 separate arcs that I'm seeing. I'm just gonna break them down quick, which is basically the fight for the throne, and I feel like Ez didn't really get a lot of time to develop as king, and I wanted to see like obviously like he keeps progressing throughout the stuff, but it felt like it was like they just shoved him back there so that they could throw him like just like make it so it's obsolete for him to be on the throne anymore. And I I feel like that should have been a whole season of him and Viren. Is that his name? Claudia and Soren's father. Um, I felt like it should have been like a lot of Viren trying to manipulate Ez, and Ez just not falling for it and doing what he thought was right. I think that would have been a really interesting play on the season. So basically, like the first few episodes should have been around that, while have Callum and Rayla in Zadia doing their thing and kind of explore that and explore Zadia more. And there's more cool stuff that I'm like, you could like do more little side things to just show off what this land is, like this land of magic, and like have Callum learn more magic from the elves and stuff like that. I thought that would have been really cool. But I feel like that should have been the main point of the season, was that struggle for the throne. And then the tension of war, I feel like, should have been season 4, which is basically like Ez is outed, maybe in the dungeon there, to start off the season, and it's a matter of like gathering up allies to try to fight. And that could have been set up with season 3. So like basically a season of like of everything going on. I would actually keep Ez personally if I was writing the story. This is just almost a fanfic basically, but I would keep Ez away from Zadia until the final battle. Use him to actually be where he's at, and like have him work behind the scenes to undermine essentially his own throne, and come, to be like the savior at the end, and like really take on that role of king. Because I think they did a really good job of like showing that even though he's a kid, he's got good instincts for being a king, and he doesn't let people push him around, which I think is really, really good. And then I think the last season 5 then should have been for the invasion and the final battle. That's just my personal opinion with that. And even with saying that critique, let me just be clear. Even with saying that critique, which I think is a pretty big one, I still really like the show. I think it's still really good. But I think it's just, it needed a little bit more time to work with to make that final battle feel a little bit more intense, have a little bit more stakes to it. Because since it felt so rushed, it was like the stakes were really low. Like I was like, okay, nothing, like there's no way anything bad really happens here, because we haven't had any setup for that. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what they do with the next, again, I believe they said that they're producing 4 more seasons of it, and it's going to be like 2 more arcs, 2 books and then 2 books. So 2 seasons for one arc, 2 seasons for the next arc. I'm interested to see what they do, because I really like this world, and I'm excited to see more of it. I think that's going to be it for this one. So again, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, really helps out the channel. And if you want to talk about stuff, agree, disagree with me, or just want to talk about something that maybe I didn't get to, post in the comments down below. Let's discuss, and I like hearing from everyone, and I'm interested to know what people think. So that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching.